Have you ever been coached out by your mom because you couldn't get the guests to come eat during a Hmong gathering? If the answer is yes, today I'm going to teach you a saying that's going to get them to eat 100% of the time. What's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing well and taking care of yourselves at this time. If you're still watching this video, then I'm going to assume that you probably got a coach out to your head just like me. Like the introduction said, today I'm going to teach you a way of how to properly invite your guests to come eat whenever they're at your house. And this is a cultural practice that's been passed down generationally. And I hope that this is something that's going to help you also as you move forward to teach your kids so that we keep this culture alive. When you have guests over at your house, there's a certain way that you invite them to come eat with you. The saying that I'll be teaching you today is Khâu lang lo pu, tshaib lang lo chi pu. Let's say it one more time. Khâu lang lo pu, tshaib lang lo chi pu. In translation to English, the first part, Khâu lang lo pu, your clothing might be raggedy and they'll see it. Tshaib lang lo chi pu, hunger they cannot see. So your clothes might be raggedy, it might be torn up, it might be old, and they can see that. They might give you new clothes, a change of clothes, or support you in some ways to get some new clothes. But if you're hungry, sometimes they can't see that. We can't see hunger. We might hear sometimes stomach growling, but we can't see it. So tshaib lang yu chi pu le bia. Khâu lang de shimo, when your clothes are raggedy, you can see it. You know, as a Hmong boy growing up in the United States here, I grew up biculturally. I had to juggle the mainstream American culture with my Hmong culture. And being exposed to more of the American culture, I was much more accustomed to that, much more exposed and familiar with it. Especially when it comes to the Hmong culture, I had to learn this through observation and just kind of learn vicariously just by observing people and also hearing third hand how to do these things. And a lot of culture too, to teach me how to say these things or what to do in certain situations. So when you have guests over, if you're like me as a young boy, sometimes your mom may say, you go and you invite them. What's going on here? What's missing here? What's the missing piece? You did your job, and it doesn't make any sense. The key thing you're supposed to do here as part of the Hmong culture is, at minimum, you have to invite them at least 3 times for them to come. So like me as a young boy, I didn't know that. So I would go and invite them once, and thinking that I did my job, I would go play. Go back to my video games or and stuff like that. So I learned that the reason why I didn't do my job well was because I didn't finish my job yet. I had to invite them 3 times. I would have to go and say, and usually the guests, they would resist. They would say, oh, now you have to say a second time. And I know it sounds redundant, it sounds repetitive, and you don't want to do it. But this is a cultural practice that's been passed down generationally that we've done for many years. And this is not to be like somewhat of a pest or anything like that. This is done out of modesty, to be humble and to also demonstrate humility. And as the owner of the house, you have guests at your house, you invite them. So you invite they might go, no, you might say a second time, they might again resist and say, now for the 3rd time, this is where you answer the saying that I just shared with you. You would say, you insist that they come, and that's when they will come. So I didn't know that. Growing up as a Hmong boy in the US, I just thought telling them come eat, and if they say no, that means they're not hungry. So my kids, same thing. My kids, they don't understand this yet. I'm trying to teach them this. I'm sure that a lot of you probably don't know this as well, or some of you don't even know how to properly invite them either, like me. I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know how to properly invite people to come. You know, they do this again. Out of respect, they do it out of modesty and humbleness and humility. And so for us, let's learn this so that we can continue to preserve this cultural practice, to teach it and to pass it on, so that we continue to preserve again our culture, because it's a beautiful thing, you know, to be able to be modest as well, to show and demonstrate humbleness and humility. And they will do that, trust me. cho lo cái tốt rồi lúc trẻ bây giờ là họ bây giờ cái chỉ bảo cái cho nó cũng chỉ mình nhỏ mà hàng quán mà lúc nào mà bu lúc nào mà bu ta tao mà cũng chỉ chấp la mới nói cho thế thì chính tao bu plan tụi bảo chấp la cái gọi là bây giờ cái mình nhỏ cái chỉ bảo cái mình nhỏ chắc là làm mà ô xí lo cái bu nhỏ họ chấp plan sẵn nọ thế thì mà tôi đã chín nọ lại cái rất chậm một này cái bây giờ sao cũng bu dùng chay này bây giờ so teach your kids là cái mình nhỏ cho bảo một em phải bu ta bu lúc nào mà nè ha tao là mai mấy cái giống nhiều mà nhỏ cho yếu bây giờ but they have to do a third time bu của nào của ý của mấy cái là lúc nào mà nè ha cái bu hay giờ cho lại bảo lúc nào mà so let's continue to teach it so that not only us that we learn của cho lão bố tao món đó thì chỉ cái mình nhỏ là chơi ha it short lại cho lúc nào mà ok I hope this makes sense and I hope that this helps you in some ways and not only do you practice it for yourself but you continue to teach to your kids and the younger generations so that we can continue to preserve these cultural practices for many generations to come. As always, take care, be well, much love. Peace out.